If I woke up today and I lost all of my confidence and I had to start back from ground zero to rebuild it, this is exactly what I would do. Confidence isn't something that you are born with, rather it's something that you develop and maintain up here. Think of confidence in the same way. You've been bit by negativity and social conditioning, which has stopped your confidence from flourishing and becoming what it's supposed to be and what it was meant to be for. Your first task is to identify where in society or where in your life is this venom coming from, and then you can attack it. Is it low energy people around you? Is it self-limiting beliefs? Is it cultural or career-based barriers holding you back? In other words, who is telling you that you can't? Once you identify the source of that venom, you're going to use the treatment plan that me and you are going to create today and direct it towards that problem. Step 1 of creating your anti-venom. I want you to start maximizing your range of expression. I want you to become louder and I want you to become more expressive. Because think about it, if you're shy, if you're unconfident, what do you instantly do? You become quieter and you decrease your expressions. I want you to get your brain, beat it into submission, and I want you to make sure that it knows that you control your brain and not the other way around. You know that feeling when you get when you don't want to do something, or your brain is like, no way am I going to do that, that's crazy. I want you to go directly against it. I want you to go and do whatever your brain is not telling you to do. In this way, you are rewiring your brain to go against its instincts. Now, don't start caring about what other people will think or what other people will say. This is for you. Screw other people's validation. You are doing this to build your confidence back up from ground zero. The last of your worry should be what other people think. This is for yourself. So let me give you an example to explain this a little better. I was in class the other day, right? And everybody had that kind of anxious feeling around them. They were like, oh, I don't want to upset the teachers. I don't want to get in trouble, this and that. And surrounded by that weird mentality, I felt that too. I was like, oh, I need to be a little bit more quiet. I need to be a little bit more expressive. And then I thought to my brain, well, I don't really want to do this. I want to go and have fun and talk to my friends over there. So I went and did that, being my most charismatic. So I decided to fight against that mentality and start becoming loud and expressive because that's who I am. Even though my brain was telling me, don't do it. And lo and behold, the person next to me came up to me and said, lower your tone, be a little bit quiet, don't get us in trouble. I looked at her like, what the hell is wrong with you? And carried on being my confident, charismatic self. Yeah, and yet in that moment, I was like, whoa, this mentality around me is telling me to be quiet and to be less expressive. And going directly against that pushed me forward. And yeah, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, so I know how to override my primal mechanisms. But those of you who are new to doing this and we're creating this anti-venom, this is going to be a lot harder. You want to start pushing so hard against your brain, against these primal mechanisms, to override them and go and do exactly what you want to do. And your brain will have no other path and no other choice but to follow you and back you up. After I said that to that person just went completely quiet for the rest of the day. And this is what I mean by beating your brain into submission, going and doing what you need to do, disregarding other people's insecurities and other people's fears, because don't let that affect you. You're doing this for you, you're doing this to bring your confidence up from that baseline. Your second step of creating your anti-venom is to understand that just because you're quiet does not mean you're shy, and just because you're loud does not mean you're confident. Suppose you're in a very large, loud social event and you actively go and whisper in your friend's ear. You become the center of attention there because your actions are not conducive to the environment that you're in. Or in the previous case that I mentioned, when you're in a quiet environment and you actively decide to be louder and more expressive, you become the center of attention again. Your confidence is defined by your ability to become comfortable being the center of attention and maximizing that range of expression. Can you become loud? Can you become quiet upon your will? How much control do you have over your body and your mind? See, I can be quiet and be anxious and talk to you like this. Or I can be quiet and talk to you like this. Which one is more charismatic? It's not about how quiet or how loud you are, it's about how comfortable you are. Step 3 of creating anti-venom is understanding that your mind exists to serve you. You don't need to justify your existence to anybody else. You just need to impress yourself. When you lack confidence, you are constantly seeking validation from other people. You're like, is this cool? Is this okay? Is this not cool? Can I do this? Can I not do that? That is how you become the most unattractive, self-loathing person out there. Your focus should be 100% on impressing yourself. When you go to bed at night, it's infinitely more better if you said, damn, I didn't know I could do this, but I did it anyway. Rather than, oh, did I offend someone? Did I make someone anxious? Did I do this? Did I do that? When you become immensely proud of yourself and you're genuinely impressed by yourself, that is when you will start feeling confidence. In order to do this, you got to constantly push your boundaries. What can I do next? How can I make this a little bit more better? How can I be a little bit more extravagant? How can I be a little bit more confident? You got to keep pushing those boundaries in order to impress yourself and love being yourself. And when you start impressing yourself, Other people start focusing on you and becoming impressed by you. And that's how you get the validation. You get validation as a byproduct of you impressing yourself, not by impressing other people. One leads to an addiction-based insecurity that constantly requires other people's thumbs up, while the other one gives you the byproduct that you're actually chasing by just focusing on yourself and being happy with yourself. And a really good way to do this, if you start from ground zero and you want to start building up, is to start keeping the promises that you made to yourself. By doing this, your brain realizes and you realize that you can rely on your future self, you can trust your future self, and your future's in good hands. Step 4 of creating your anti-venom. Start doing good things for people without expecting anything in return. Why? Because when you help someone, you are actively proving to yourself that you are of value and you have something to offer to someone who is less fortunate than you, or less on that, or not as far along on that road to life experience that you are at right now. This automatically makes you understand that you are better than other people, and other people may be lesser than you or maybe more than you, all depend upon experience, not by value, of course. This re-establishes your self-worth, and also you are putting good into the world. Now this comes back in two ways. First of all, it makes you feel good. That's the instant short-term reward. And secondly, because karma will bring good things back to you anyway. So start doing things for other people without expecting anything in return, and further proves to you that you have inherent self-worth, because you can contribute and make someone's life better. In the same way I'm teaching you how to be confident, right, from my apartment right here at 5 a.m. in the morning, the more good you put out into the world, the more self-worth that you put into yourself, and you can do that too. So go out there, own the world around you, and live every day like it's a new day, but also every day may be your last day. And until next time, I'll neighbor, I'm out.